I'm going to move on to our first guest, who I have had the absolute pleasure of spending some amazing time over Zoom with recently, as we're so socially distanced during lockdown. Floortje is the Chief Executive of Produced in Kent. They are supporting and promoting the many independent local businesses who are doing an amazing job growing, producing, preparing, selling, and delivering food and drink to the Kent community during the COVID crisis with the Help Kent Buy Local campaign. Floortje, thank you for coming on the show. You are with us. It looks sunny where you are. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Had a lovely weekend. So just getting my head around being back at work again.
we're the same, and we're messing about for a couple of minutes on a stream, which is
Yeah.
great for us. But for you, obviously, into I suppose a bit more serious matters, the Help Kent Buy Local campaign. From what I've seen, has been doing some amazing things whilst people have been in lockdown, and local businesses have been looking for that support that you guys have been providing. So could you tell us a little bit about Help Kent Buy Local and really some of the great success stories you've had so far?
Yeah, so I think a week before lockdown came into force, we sat down with the team because we were, it was all over the news that it was going to happen. So we were kind of trying to see how we could respond to that with our organization, and decided to come up with the Help Kent Buy Local campaign. So initially that was rolled out across social media, where we encouraged people to use a hashtag Help Kent Buy Local so that we could find those businesses that were still operational during lockdown, delivering, making, producing food and drink for the Kent residents. And so that we could retweet, post, follow all their posts on social media, which is what we did the first couple of days. And then we extended our help to a website, the helpkentbuylocal.co.uk website, which has been running since I believe the 25th of March, so a good 2 months now. And that's been a real good success, I think. We've got over 250 businesses listed on the website. It helps customers find local food and drink outlets in their vicinity. So anyone still delivering, still having shops open, doing takeaways. I mean, the hospitality sector, of course, had to shut down completely, but some have pivoted and opened takeaway services. So we advertise those as well on the website, and we have a B2C site where customers can go to find what they're looking for, food and drink wise. But we also have a B2B side, so where producers, growers, distributors can post available stock to retail and hospitality that's still operational. And yeah, we're hoping to continue that website also in the recovery phase and afterwards, because it's important to keep banging the drum about buying local, both for businesses and customers.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a great advocate of buying local, and I think also what's quite amazing about the campaign is you can see the businesses taking part in it as well. They're not just banging the drum for the fact that they're on there; they're banging the drum for the campaign in general to help benefit other businesses. So, sort of on the B2C side, how have you seen that consumer engagement over the past, let's say, 3 months? Is it still sort of picking up? Are you still seeing a nice peak in people looking at local businesses to purchase from?
I think it's what we've understood from members. It's definitely, well, of course, for a lot of our businesses, it's been an entirely new side to their business, doing home deliveries and taking online orders. So quite a few businesses have made investments to make that work, and to help customers the best way they can. And they've been very, very busy over the last weeks, thankfully. I think, now that the bigger shops are reopening and possibly get their delivery slots back in place, it might become a bit less. But I think customer behavior has changed. I think people have rediscovered what's available on their doorstep, and have seen that that's good quality, that it's great food, that they have a much more direct relationship with the person selling the stuff to them. So I think that's all very positive. It's a positive, how do you say, buyer experience, and I think that will stay with people. So I really hope that people will keep buying local, but I think they will actually. I think we've seen a lasting change already. But let's keep it up. I think we need to keep keep promoting it, because coming out of lockdown and going into the recovery phase, local businesses really, really need our help desperately.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what does that look like, would you say? What does that look like coming out of lockdown for local businesses? So is there certain support that you're hearing from people within the local produce sector, for instance, about the support they need? Is there anything in particular that they're sort of talking about? Is it more from a social distancing point of view? Is it making their farm shops or their local stores COVID safe? Where do you think those problems and the support that is needed for local businesses lies?
I think, the shops that have been open throughout, they have all those things in place already. And I don't know exactly about the social distancing needed in their shops. They have all the signs and all the guidelines, and I think the staff training in place. Um, there have been shops that haven't, maybe the non-essential food and drink shops, which will reopen again now. They are now in the process of preparing themselves. And of course, you've got the hospitality sector that has to do an enormous amount of preparation before they can reopen. And then the date that they can reopen is not yet even set out. So I think there's a lot of investment that needs to be done by businesses in the hospitality sector, which I think we should really be aware of. And that's, I think, another reason for residents to, as soon as they reopen, make use of those local pubs and restaurants, help them buy their food and drink, and help them get through those first months of setting up shop again.
Yeah, no, 100%. And for you, for those businesses, what is next? So what is their plan moving forward? You say a lot of businesses have obviously pivoted. They've done different things. We've heard stories from the likes of Juliet's in just outside of Whitstable, who have been doing like a drive up, like sort of order online and then collect immediately service. As you said, we've seen a lot of personalised delivery servicing as well across Kent. What do you think is that next step for those businesses coming out of lockdown?
I think it's seeing if they can maintain it, and that obviously depends on demand. If demand keeps up, then they can maintain that model. I think for some, it's very important that the hospitality sector starts up again, because they're very much dependent in their B2B trade on the hospitality sector. I think a lot of local producers have been really seriously affected by the fact that the pubs and restaurants and coffee shops had to shut down. So I think there's still a lot of question marks for a lot of our members on how those next months are going to pan out, and if demand is going to keep up by the customer. Are they going to remain buying local? Are they going to stay with their local village shops? And how quickly can we get the hospitality sector up and running again?
100%. And finally, for me, Flo, what's next for the Help Kent Buy Local campaign then? Because obviously, for Produced in Kent, you've been banging the drum about buying local before the pandemic even happened.
Yeah.
Before it became a really hearty campaign during these times for businesses and local people. So what is next? Is it more to keep pushing the message, or have you got any tricks and ideas up your sleeves?
I think it's keep pushing the message. It's hopefully rolling it out across other counties as well, which we're looking at the moment. We're also looking at how to support specific groups within our membership, such as the hospitality sector, and I think it's also talking a lot more about sustainability as well going forward, because buying local, that's directly linked to being sustainable and acting sustainably and operating sustainably, and being a better person for buying local produce, because you help the planet by doing so.
I love that. You're going to make anyone feel guilty who doesn't buy local produce now, because you are not a good person. You're not helping the planet. Flo, absolutely amazing to have you on this show. Thank you for all the work and the help you've been doing with your local dot delivery as well. You guys have been an incredible support at Help Kent Buy Local. So where can people find a website, and how can people potentially help push the message?
Helpkentbuylocal.co.uk is the website. Businesses are still very welcome to list. The listing is free. As soon as you list on the site, you get we send you a badge, a Help Kent Buy Local badge, which you can use on all your marketing material. And I think that helps everyone enormously, because the more we see that badge around, the more customers are reminded of the need to buy local. And if you're a customer, just go to the website, see what's around your corner, and explore.
Blue Peter badges are no longer cool. It's all about the Help Ken Buy Local badge, guys. Come on, let's get with it. Floortje, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Me.
Thank you, Flo. Thank you very much.